shit. Like that's just things you don't do.
Well, I'm glad I brought it here.
Oh.
You want to
Oh, it needs to go up.
sure?
Yeah.
But it's like seriously, it's like the fucking best wheels out there are the ones that come on the bike.
Right.
And the only other wheels I've ever seen that are really, really good are fucking like race wheels and shit, but they're perfect because they know they're going to be running high speeds. And they're fucking made correctly. That bike is a 160 mile an hour bike. He goes, oh, I want these wheels put on. So he goes and puts these wheels on. We put the wheels on, we can't ride it over 80 miles an hour. They said, well, you need, I'm like, okay, so we balance it with this lube that we have, and we've never had an issue in fucking 10 years. Then I'm like, hey dude, we can't ride it. Well, you need to put wheel weights on it. So they send the wheel back to the fucking manufacturer and they go, there's nothing wrong with it. I put stock wheels back on it, put the lube in the wheels fucking 160 miles an hour. See here now, the caliper's not lining up the rotor.
Right.
But so what we can do is we can machine down the ABS unit. Look down and that's how they fixed it.
Still doing it right, I mean?
Yeah. They use
Part of the
long
right.
spacer to pry the leg over, which is not what you want to do. But yeah, I wonder, is there...
So you see what's going on? It's the caliper needs to go that way more.
So basically, they were doing band-aid fixes
Yes.
instead of just fixing it right the first time.
It disengages the clutch 50%. So mid-corner, you can back off on your engine. You don't get your engine brakes not going to lock up your back wheel and cause you to go out. They do that for the street for wet weather. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So within half a season, I'm not shitting you, half a season, Harley Davidson factory handed out clutches to everybody.
Really?
I already knew that, so I already had a stock clutch, but with a Screaming Eagle clutch pack. And we were pulling 160 horsepower.
Cool.
There's been, I can't remember what customer came in here. I went to test drive his bike. I'm like, this thing won't go in neutral. He goes, yeah, sometimes I have to shut it off. Because he had some monster clutch in there, and we're like, dude, you don't need that shit.
I guess I'll ride that one. Then you can check the drive line on this one, and then when I get back, I'll test ride that one.
Yeah, 044s in the rear,
Okay.
and then our cartridges in the front. But we also put a adjustable mount on it and checked his realign the drivetrain.
This one right here. We put that in, it's adjustable. We have to push the drive line over that way, over quarter inch.
Kenny.
The drive line's out of whack. We've seen a lot of 2023. Is this a 23? 22. We've seen a lot of 22s and 23s where the drive line's crooked, but we've also seen a lot that correct and straight.
Uh-huh.
And so that just tells us that one of their frame fixtures is off, or was. So we straightened it out. That was it.
How was this one?
It was off by quarter of an inch, like the engine was leaning towards me. So we pushed it back over and should ride good. I could ride that one as fast as it was perfect. As fast as it would go. Yeah, just take it up on the freeway and just go as fast as the bike will go. No problem.
Started out by doing full suspension on the brand new 2023,
Okay.
and then it just got crazy.
So how many?
Showed up.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
It
send
was
it.
supposed to be Friday. It's supposed to be a relaxing day.
It's supposed to be Friday light.
Yeah. the old guys, the two old guys in the shop are the ones here doing it.
Who's the old guys, Rob?
Me and Kevin.
Are you smiling or frowning?
Oh, it's perfect. I mean, it's
You're going back on the list?
I could run 150 on that easy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna run 150, but
Huh?
I won't run 150 miles an hour, but
I was doing 130. It was
130.
just one-handed.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah. But it sure is stable as fuck.
Okay.
And I mean, dude, I don't know what I was doing before, but this thing is like, I would have no problem. I didn't want to rev your motor that hard, but I'd have no problem taking it to 150, 160, and I felt super comfortable at 130. Like it was just like doing 60 miles an
Right,
hour.
right. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. But it's on my bike because that's just vibrating the shit out of your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not you can't ride this 800 miles a day. I mean, you can,
I have.
but it's fucking
Right.
uncomfortable.
Right.
Quite a bit of vibration coming through the bars too. You feel that? Yeah. I was like, whoa. So I'm getting a lot of vibration here, a lot of vibration here, like way over the top. And when I went over the railway tracks, I could just feel like the chassis is like the motor inside the chassis is
Fighting each other.
Yeah, it's like rough as fuck. But the suspension, when you hit bumps and all that, it's beautiful.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to the vibration, so
You probably come back and say, that's amazing.
yeah, right.
For me,
Fucking
I'm like,
awesome.
this is assolting me. You know?
Right, yeah. All your senses.
Yeah, because I'm so used to
Yeah,
stock.
True.
Well, you know, honestly, the way it should be.
Right.
I mean, you could have that motor. I've ridden motors that are 160 horsepower. Yeah, this is a big motor, and they do feel like that in the chassis a little bit, like way more than a stock motor.
Right.
And they do feel more like this, but this seems a little bit excessive.
Okay.
And the clutch is just, when they take off, you can hear it squeal a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard that.
But that's normal for that aftermarket clutch, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
Much better. Much better. The small chatter is basically non-existent. Cornering, you know, it just felt super planted. And then I got it on the freeway and was doing 120, 130, like you said. Took the arm off and basically just straight as an arrow. Like no problem. Very confidence-inspiring bike, and it's made me a better rider, which is kind of scary because I suck, but but super great.
I didn't ride it before, so I didn't know how bad it was. Or
Right. No, 9-day difference.
9 day?
Yeah, 9 day. Just feels more comfortable. I mean, no more swaying in the corners. You know, I was like doing 80, 90 on the
Oh,
corner.
really? It was doing all that?
Yeah, and so now it's taken all that out of it, and yeah, couldn't be happier.
Good.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, I showed you everything that was wrong, and now you know.
Right.
It's got the bike's got a native skate 60 pound wheel in the front, a really big wheel. It's heavy, and it wasn't handling. It was rough. Oh, sorry. It's got a native skate heavy wheel in the front. It's like a 180 series wheel, and it's very heavy, 60 pounds. The stock wheel weighs 25 pounds. So we're building cartridges for it, and we're going to put these in and see how it goes. We're going to he purchased some cartridges from us, the Olin's 30 mil, and the bike just doesn't ride right. I don't know what it's doing. I haven't ridden it.
It's
rough?
Right. It's rough.
Rough. That's why I said rough, because there's not enough rebound in there. So
But then the
Well, they've been in there for a while. Right?
yeah, 2 years I think.
And
You working on your own bike?
The
There you go.
wheel and like comes as a.
So what comes with the kit is just the fender and the
Okay, so it's Friday. I built 3 cartridges. I got to do this bike over here that didn't have any top out springs in it. Somebody put some Olin's cartridges in it. It was just assembled wrong. The rear shocks were wrong. It's got a big ass motor. I got this gray one over here we finished. Drivetrain was tripping as hell. It's a 2023, we fixed that.
How'd you do that?
Rob aligned it with our...
How'd you do it, Rob?
With our adjustable motor mount, top motor mount.
Different bike.
It's the bike that I felt like I was. It's the bike I felt like I should have got when I bought it. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, with as much money as you spend, like this is what I wanted. I'm excited to go ride.
There you go.
Ride.
Now it's fun to ride.
Now it's fun to ride. I don't feel like I'm fighting the bike.
Yeah.
I felt like we were working together, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
'Cause I felt like I've been fighting the bike since I got it, and now this is exactly what I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
So what was it doing before? And
It would pull, and then definitely when you would hit bumps in the road or potholes or whatever, I mean, you would feel it. You can't feel anything anymore. I mean, whenever the train tracks, I mean, you know it's there, but you can't feel it anymore. You just glide right over it.
Yeah, it's not beating your butthole into a turtleneck.
I don't need this big ass seat anymore. I get rid of the big seat.
Oh, that seat's beautiful though. I love that seat.
Yeah, that's a comfy seat.
But yeah, I took it way up and I just pegged the needle at like 115 and it's as fast as it goes. And
I got it to go 105, and I was like, okay, it's stable. I mean, I didn't feel like, because before we did it at 100, you could feel it. I mean, you knew you were doing 100. Now you can't feel like, you don't feel it. It's like being in a luxury car. You're just
like a Mercedes.
Yes.
We turned a Harley into a Mercedes.
basically.
Well, awesome. I'm glad you're happy.
No, thank you, guys.
awesome.
That's what it's more than you expected.
A lot more than I expected. I thought that it was going to ride smoother. I didn't think it was going to be as stable as. I mean, even when I left here, I could feel that it was stable. It didn't feel like it was moving around. It felt stable. It felt
Planted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way they're supposed to feel.
That's how they should feel.
So we actually went up on spring rate in the rear.
Okay.
Believe it or not, that's a 28 Newton meter spring in the back there. And yet Olin's sends out stock shocks with 26 Newton meter springs, and they ride a lot rougher than that. So we went up on spring rate, but we also went up on valving, so we're controlling the spring.
Right.
But you've got the support in the rear when you nail it, and when you have some hard input.
Okay.
It's going to the chassis is going to be supported.
Yeah.
That's why I do that. And those right there ride so much smoother than the stock shocks. Yeah.
Or progressives. I've had progressives before. They ride better than progressives too. I mean.
Oh yeah, well Progressive's great.
But yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you betcha. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah.
I told her, you guys hadn't texted me. I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited.
What I love though is that it's always more than what a customer expects.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to deliver.
That's
right?
the shit right there.
It is. It is the shit.
When you deliver way more than what they ever expected, and because they're so happy.
I mean, I'm going to ride all weekend. I don't care what. I mean, if you want to go to Disneyland, we're not going to Disneyland tomorrow. I'm riding.
Awesome. Yeah, that's okay. And they're all the way soft, which is what we want, but you've got plenty of support.
Okay.
And yeah.
Just so, even when I take a passenger, don't mess with it.
Don't touch nothing. You'll just just ride, be happy, smile.
Okay. Even with camping gear, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Just leave it alone.
Got it,
Unless your wife's like 250 pounds
Hey now.
and you got 200 pounds of luggage, then I would say we need to do something.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem. I'm good.
All right, Jacob. Thank you.
Woohoo.